How's it going, Dave and Comic Book Investments? Got some stuff back from CGC, but also I got some, some news to share. So, you know, I'm a musician, right? I've been playing music for like 25 years, in and out of bands, making my own stuff. I actually have an album coming out pretty soon. Been working on that all year, pretty much. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. You know, I know how hard it is to break into anything when you're a creative type. It's basically next to near impossible to do any of that kind of stuff. And I always told myself, I never understood why, I'm sure there are some out there, but why bigger bands don't always help out little bands, like whenever they can. I always said to myself, if I was ever made it, or anything, any remotely success in music whatsoever, I would always help out. And I have, even the minuscule, like this much success I have, I've always tried to help out local bands, friends' bands, anything I can do, but I never really made it anywhere big. But, you know, I guess I don't really consider it, but maybe some people consider my YouTube channel, I guess, somewhat popular or something like that. I mean, I have a decent following. And so I got a person reached out to me and they asked if they could pay me to do an advertisement for them. And I told them, I was like, I'll do you one better. I'll do it for free because I like helping out other creative types, especially if it has to do with comic books. I just want to help people out, art and all that kind of stuff. If I have a channel for that, I definitely want to do that. Now that does not mean that everyone start flooding me with like your designs and stuff like that. I really have to like kind of believe in the project to begin with, and I'm not going to charge, people like that. I've done this before. A person came to me and they were doing a graphic novel, and so I interviewed them about that graphic novel and promoted it on my show for free. I just, I want to help people out, and I want to be bigger in this space so I can help out more artists and creative types in comic books in general. I think that's your duty and your job as if you get bigger to help out smaller people. I think that's what you're supposed to do because you're giving back to what that community gave to you. Like music has given me so much in my life that I definitely want to give back. And now I'm not a comic book artist or creative type by any means. I wish I was, but I think if I do have some kind of a platform, then I should be giving back. So this guy, Todd, his name's Todd Galena, reached out to me. He is an animator and he made a animated short film. I'll play some clips of it on screen. And he is going around to different Comic Cons. I think he went to the San Diego Comic Con. He's going to be at the LA Comic Con on October 5th, which is a Saturday at 11:30, showcasing his new film. He is then also going to be in the new Newport Beach Film Festival on October 24th. But it's animation, it's comic. He's going to Comic Con. I figure that's good enough connection right there. And it looks well done. Looks like a lot of time and effort and money was spent into this thing. So definitely, like top notch. So if I can help out any way I can, I don't know if like more details than that, but it's going to be premiering. So it's obviously for free at the LA Comic Con. So if you are at the LA Comic Con and you want something to do on Saturday at around 11:30, you can go see the premiere of his short film. It's called Force 5. It's about robots saving the world, things like that. So if I can help out in any way, if, one person watches this and goes and watches it, then I feel like my job is, I'm happy. I helped out. So I'm always here to help out creators. That being said, if you guys know of any artists that are local to San Diego, comic book artists, or writers, or someone in the comic book realm, it could be a publisher, it could be an editor, it could be anything in the comic book space, and they want to come on and do a podcast with me, I would love to have them on. I would love to start building people's brands up for them any way I can. So yeah, if you know any comic book artists, publishers, whatever, even animators in general, anything, even CGI artists, things like that. I love art. So connect with me. David at collectorscomics.com is my email. It's always in, I think, every description. I'll also link the description of this trailer for this video for the short film, animated short film. Hit me up. I'd love to do a podcast with these people and, talk to them, talk about their industry, talk about why they got into what they do. They can promote a book or a movie or whatever they're trying to promote. I don't really care about that. That's totally fine. I just want to talk to them, the ins and outs, all that kind of stuff. I'm fascinated by that stuff. I think people will dig it, or at least I will. So yeah, that's all I had to announce. Now on to the comic books. Here we got is Batman 608, but this is the retailer incentive edition. So very expensive, but this has got, you got the cool black and gold, which is much cooler than the straight gold label. So it's a verified, authenticated, but it is Jim Lee. I've seen enough Jim Lee signatures to know. I don't have to be a professional signature verifier, but I pretty much am. At least the ones I know and seen enough of. $29.99. And then we got another signature. Yeah, I got some signatures back. This one is by Bernie Wrightson and Louise Simonson. House of Secrets 92, first Swampy. $21.99. And as far as I know, you cannot get Bernie Wrightson's signature anymore. I believe he is long gone. Has passed. Johnny Quest number 3, Dave Stevens. Dave Stevens has also died, and he's from San Diego. Kind of. I did a whole documentary on him. But his house that he lived at was not far from here. By the way, I sold that Creature number 1, his first published cover of all time. It was like indie magazine, indie comic book. It was smaller, but it was self-published. So it'd be like if I published something, was that considered indie, or is it just self-published? Anyways, it was his first published cover, and I had a 9.8, sold like that. I was surprised. I didn't even know what to value it at. I valued it at $3,000, sold like that. So obviously people liked it and they wanted it. I believe there is some value there. I love Dave Stevens' artwork. When I was at San Diego Comic-Con, this guy had probably $10 million worth of comic book art. Just ridiculous. He literally, probably more than 10 million. He just had binders and binders full of this stuff. And he would literally have covers just against the wall, and it'd be $250,000 price tag, $500,000 for that one, all that kind of stuff. I asked him, do you have any Dave Stevens? He's like, oh man, I wish, none. And I was like, oh wow. So very hard to get. But this is signed by Dave Stevens. This is a cover he did. $499. Here's Todd McFarlane. Yeah, if anyone knows Todd McFarlane, if he'd like to come on, I would like to talk to him about his new upcoming Spawn film that he is still working on. Jokes aside, I would love to talk to Todd McFarlane. I'm sure everyone would love to talk to Todd McFarlane. Spawn kills everyone. This is an employee variant. So when Todd McFarlane does something that's pretty cool, actually, I think, is the people that work at Image, he will draw a variant specifically every once in a while, specifically for the employees only. And that's great because they can take this variant and they can sell it for hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, and it's almost like a bonus, or they can keep it. A lot of times he'll put their name up there to Shelby. So he'll put their name. So this is, I'm looking, Spawn kills everyone, signed. So they're all going to be authenticated because he signs these when he gives them out. So CGC is in there. He's not calling up CGC. $2,000. This is the first one I've ever had of this. Graded. Now, if you guys watch the entirety of that 2-hour-long podcast I did with my dad about PSA and me going into details about how it's absurd that CGC and CBCS and other grading companies don't grade certain things because they don't have the knowledge. And I'm like, well, that's your job, is to get the knowledge. I send in a comic. You get the knowledge to know if it's real or not, or everything about it. Then you grade said comic. So this was, I had this mini comic book that was a Golden Age comic book that they didn't publish, but then they later published as a giveaway, and they didn't want to spend a bunch of money, so they made it smaller in black and white and stuff like that. And there's not that many in existence. Probably, I don't know, less than 10. But I mean, I know enough about them. There's less than 10 of that particular issue, but there's multiple. And I was like, CGC wouldn't grade it, CBCS wouldn't grade it. So that's when I asked, will PSA grade? And he went in the whole thing. Well, then we'd have to learn about it. I'm like, it doesn't take that long. It's not rocket science. It's not you have to go to school to learn about one comic book. It's like literally just do like 5-10 minutes of research. And oh, there it is. The internet exists. So it's pretty easy to find stuff. But anyways, this was one such case. They did not grade this. This is 2000 AD number 2. This is the first appearance of Judge Dredd, which is a great character. And if you've seen, there's 2 films. There's the one with Sylvester Stallone, which is meh. But then there's the other one with Carl Urban, who's also in The Boys, and Dr. McCoy in Star Trek, and in Doom. Fantastic film. Great. Really, really good movie. Really, really good movie. All around great. I really can't complain other than they didn't make another one. Never took his helmet off, which is great. A+. It just wasn't as good box office wise. Anyways, so they just started grading this recently, within like the last 2, maybe 3 years, which is crazy because this, 1977? Yeah, 77. Crazy to think that it's existed this long. It's a magazine size, and they never graded it. It's foreign. It's UK because Judge Dredd from UK. Beyond me. So, like all things, when they first pop up onto the scene, even though I've had multiples of these, but never any graded, they go for very, very much. So, let's see, 2008.5. I thought it was going to be a 7.0, so yay. $5,000. Here we go. We got the first appearance of the new X-Men, which is Nightcrawler, Colossus, Storm, things like that. But this actually is FOOM, Friends of Old Marvel. I think that's what it stands for. In a 9.4, this is something you had to subscribe to get. And this predates X-Men, Giant Size X-Men number 1, and it's a very similar cover to Giant Size X-Men number 1. And there's Wolverine. So this would be Wolverine's technically his second appearance. Because Giant Size is the second one, but this is actually it. In a 9.4, 4,900. Came back great on one. Here we go. We got Turtles number 1. First print. In an 8.5, $16,000. I was hoping for 8.5 to 9.0. Got the 8.5. And it's also signed by Kevin Eastman on the first page. And then we got another one. This is second printing. This is 7.0. Or sorry, 7.5. Came back great on wanted. $19.99. So I had 2 copies of these. What If number 10. Not a popular book as much as it was 5 years ago. These things are like 9.9s. I sent them in, and I even like these are 9.9s, like they are. This one particular was like on the fence, 9.8, 9.9. Looking at it, I think it's the best looking 9.8 you could ever get. But that being said, I've seen way worse 9.8s, way worse 9.8s. So this is like the best looking 9.8 I ever said. That being said, I can still consider it on the cusp. But the other one, I'm like, this is 9.9. So I cracked it out, and I'm going to send it back. But this one, I'm like, it's kind of on the fence, and they're so stingy with their 9.9s. It's like, dude, you give out other 9.8s to things, and I'm like, that's a 9.8? Come on. So they're always stingy. They're super stingy with 9.9s because there's like this taboo with this 9.9, right? Once you bring out the 9.9, then you all of a sudden like have broke that barrier, and the floodgates are open. So they're always like even if it's a perfect book, it's so hard. So it's going to be easier to get a 9.9 of a book when a 9.9 already exists. You see what I'm saying there? So if you have a Wolverine limited series number 1, there's 10.0s and 9.9s and 9.8s, a bunch of them. It's going to be way easier to get a 9.9 of that book because there's already a 10.0 and a 9.9 of that book. It makes no logical sense, I know, but that's how it is. So I believe there's no 9.9s of this, or maybe there is like one or something, but it's going to be near impossible. So I'm sending that on one back. $4.99. And this was another one I sent in. I had 2 as well of this one, and I thought they were 9.9s. This one, it's super nice. This one's nicer than that. I can see, going from a true grader, their eyes. I can see and like, okay, I can see how this could be a 9.8. I still think it is way nicer than any other 9.8s I'll have on here. The other one I did send because I'm like, it's flawless. Like you could even say it's a 10.0, but I'm like, they'll never give it a 10.0. So super dumb. 149. X-Men 50 in a 9.6. That's very good. 3,700. This I thought was a 9.4. Here we go. 9.8 of this. 141. 879. I graded this one actually. Now normally I never grade things 9.9 because I'm like it'll never happen. But we've already gotten a couple 9.9s. We even got a 10.0 recently. It was a modern book of that 10.0, but the 9.9 was it was still modern, but it was like 20 years old. But we've been getting more people are getting more. They've kind of loosened up a little bit. So now I'm like, okay, now I can actually plan on getting a 9.9 and actually can write it down when I think it is one and hope that they actually do it. But no, they never will. Spider-Man number 3. Yeah, we've gotten, in this year alone, we've gotten, 2 9.9s and 1 10.0. And that is probably more than we ever gotten in the last 15 years. And it's not like we're sending more different stuff, always the same stuff. Spider-Man 3, same grade I wanted, 23.59. Spider-Man 14, 2,800, came back to grade I wanted. Oh, yeah. This was Detective 54. What was this? 4.5. This was 31.99. But this was a PGX 6.5. 2 bumps down. 2 whole grade jumps down. That's crazy. This is a great cover. If I was a collector, I would definitely get this cover because of how goofy it is. Just everything about this is goofy, and it's just great. Everything it's poorly drawn, which makes it great. His eyes are looking. I don't know where they're looking. They shot a Canon blast, and I don't know. For some reason, I want to say that Canon shot is way too small to come out of a submarine on deck cannon. This little torpedo thing is drawn terribly, but it looks like he's writing something there and making a weird face. Definitely a weird book. Super rare on top of that. Also, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the famed Green Llama is part of this book, or at least he's part of the Prize comic series. I don't know if he's in this issue, but anyways, Prize Comics 17 came back great. I wanted $4,000. It's pretty rare. It's actually very rare, but super fun, funny book. It's just great. I love like weird stuff like that, especially when it's rare. This is a cool book as well. Another Golden Age, but it's called a classic cover. But classic cover, I don't know, what that means. But they just kind of do that, especially if they have like claws dripping down with blood dripping everywhere. I mean, it's not the best drawing. I've seen better drawings of this basically same thing. I think there's an LB Cole cover with the guy's like skull, and I want to say it's Blue Bolt something, like 115. I think that one's better drawn. But again, this is rare. It also even more rare because it's such a high grade. There's only like 190 and 194. So this is the third highest grade, and there's only physically two copies nicer than this. $8,000 for this one. Sensation Comics 97. Isn't that cute? Look at that. He's surprising her with flowers. Steve Trevor. Very stark difference of how Wonder Woman is portrayed. Now, but in any case, this is the single highest grade by a mile. I think the next one is maybe an 8.5 or an 8.0 or something like that. So it's a lot tougher in, what year is this? 1950. Definitely tougher year for DC Comics. It's just harder to get high grades from like 50 to like 55. And this is kind of like when it was turning, I think romance comics were selling really well. So I think they turned like Wonder Woman more to like romance comic because they're always changing, right? They're always going with the trends. And so this was like during that romance period for Wonder Woman. Nonetheless, she only lasted a few more issues, and then they canceled Sensation Comics, and she was just in Wonder Woman because during this time, superheroes weren't doing that well, surprisingly. But superheroes were falling off ever since World War II ended. People feel like they didn't need like a hero in their lives, and so superheroes started falling off. True crime got really popular then. This is like late 40s through the mid 50s ish, through the later 50s is like went like true crime, romance, then sci-fi and horror started becoming really popular during that time. And then it wasn't until the Silver Age where they brought back Flash with Barry Allen and Showcase 4, and then it really kicked off with Marvel when they had the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, and all that stuff. And that was early 60s. But yeah, I can't read this. I'm going to go with $54.99. I think that's what it says. I can't tell if it's a 6 or a 5. But yeah, it'll be on the website soon enough. Actually, yes, they'll be on tomorrow. So you're getting a preview. They're not even listed yet. I still haven't listed them. So I'm actually behind on the listing. But there's also more stuff than this, but this is just some of the stuff. So again, check out that person's, Todd's video clip. Link in the description below. It's a trailer. He has a movie coming up, or a short film premiere that you can see at the LA Comic Con on October 5th. And